Hello, welcome back to the Vintage Reserve, and today we're going to go through my top 5 menswear finds from 2023. Let's get on to the video. Find number 5 on our list today is this 100% cashmere men's sweater. Now, cashmere is one of my favorite materials. It is incredibly soft, and it's something that, especially in the colder months, having a nice cashmere sweater, it makes you feel warm, but also almost like it's giving you a bit of a hug. And it is useful in so many different garments, whether it just be coats or sweaters like this. I personally prefer the quarter zip. Then you can sometimes have for a work function, a collared shirt underneath, maybe some sort of button up. One of the things that I love about this is I found this actually in the women's section. It is a men's sweater. However, it's a good example to show you that checking the women's section once in a while at a thrift store can be fruitful. There are a ton of garments that are somewhat gender neutral, and occasionally they get mislabeled. So this was a wonderful find. To have a 100% cashmere sweater for under $5 is a steal, and it is something that I found myself wearing quite a bit this winter, and that's why it's on the 5th spot on this list. Let's see what number 4 is. So number 4 on our list is this Clark's leather bag. Now, leather bags are something that I wanted to get into for quite a while, but the barrier to entry is pretty high. A good quality leather bag new is going to cost you at least $300. Usually you're spending closer to $5 if you want something that's really nice. But as far as this one, I only paid $7 actually. Clark's is not a luxury brand by any means, but it is a good quality brand. It's nice, stiff, strong leather that's got a little bit of play. I didn't think I would really get a ton of use out of having a leather bag. It's something that I always wanted to try out, but when I was able to pick this one up for only $7, I found myself using it a lot. It is so handy just to have the extra space to be able to carry around things that maybe you normally wouldn't, whether it be allergy medication, some ibuprofen is always good to have on hand, or even things like a spare change of clothing. Sometimes you worry, especially if you work in an office or have a busier setting, that maybe, if you're at lunch and you get something on your shirt, let's say if you're, having, sushi and you get some soy sauce on, that's not a stain that's going to look very good. So having a spare change of clothes and, being able to carry that around with you, I just found incredibly helpful. And if you want me to do a video later on all of the just useful things that you can carry around inside a leather bag to bring with you, just so you have that little bit of extra peace of mind, then let me know in the comments if that's something you guys would be interested in. And that's why this leather bag has made the number 4 spot on our list. So for number 3 on our list, we have this Levi's denim jacket. So this is a vintage denim jacket from the 80s. We've got the flannel lining on the inside. Now, denim jackets are not something I've gotten into wearing a lot, just because I didn't have any really decent quality ones. This is honestly probably my first pretty decent denim jacket, and I'm excited to be able to wear it this spring. I'm curious to see how much use I'll get out of it, if I'll actually enjoy wearing it. But denim jackets, especially in America, are just a classic whenever it comes to menswear. I feel everyone should have one in their arsenal of wardrobe, and it is just a durable, functional piece of clothing that can also be dressed up or down a little bit, and it is something everyone should have. This one I paid $20 for. Vintage denim specifically gets really expensive, and there is a cult following for it. I'm by no means an expert, and this is not a super valuable piece. However, for only $20 to have a nice, Levi's 80s denim jacket was something that I couldn't pass up. I'll let you know in a future video, I guess, how much use I actually get out of it. Denim doesn't really have to be that expensive either, and if you are looking for something even maybe even new that is a decent quality, Gap actually is a brand that has some really decent budget options for denim, especially their 1969 model denim jacket. So if you want to get into denim, I really recommend picking something like that up. even just to see, like, do you get actually use out of it? Like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to wear this too much because of the weather. It's been a little too cold, even with this, the flannel lining. But I'm really excited this spring to see, what it's like to match it with a few different outfits and really join that culture of denim. So that is why I was really excited to find this year and why this makes the number 3 spot on our list. So number 2 on our list is going to be this jacket. This is a suede, and suede and leather jackets are, and have been for a very, very long time, an extremely fashionable piece of menswear. As everything in menswear goes, brand new, they do get very expensive, especially for the higher grade leathers. Something soft like suede that's nice and light, I think really is a more versatile piece of clothing, because I've worn this at some even dressier functions for work, or just if I'm going out on a nice weekend, going to a bar or something with friends, or out to a nice dinner, and it is so easy to dress this up or down. It's nice and kind of got that rustic masculine. I love the brown leathers, but leather as a material comes in so many different colors and textures and patterns. It is one of the most versatile pieces of clothing that you can get is a nice jacket, especially one that's got some extra pockets, got the little lapels, have it really give off a dressier vibe, but still be casual. And that's kind of where that sophisticated, someone that wants to show that they care about their appearance and put in that effort, but not really doesn't want to go all the way to a full suit or anything like that. So that's where jackets, especially the lighter ones that you can wear all year long, really come into play. And this is by far the garment that I've gotten the most compliments on this year. I've worn it quite a bit, and it feels good, it looks great, and I think I only paid like $3 or so. It was insane, the deal I got on this, especially for just like a really nice soft suede. I have no idea about the brand or anything. There really wasn't any information on it, and I don't really care, to be honest. Branding is something that can add value or not, to a product just because, it has a reputation. But if you know what to look for and you know what quality feels like, then it doesn't really matter what the brand of a garment is. It doesn't matter that I don't know, who produced this or all of the, specifics on, every, stitch and, the quality of the leather and everything. I know just by feeling it and from experience that it's decent enough quality for me, and it looks really good. And for the price, it was a no-brainer to pick up. Just because I've gotten so many compliments, it had to make the number 2 spot on our list. Number 1 is not something that I wear nearly as much as this, but when we get to number 1 in a moment, you'll see why it's something that is just even more special than something like this. If you want me to do videos on specifically leather jackets and leather goods in the future, please let me know in the comments. As far as leather jackets go, I have really been on the lookout for a really good quality, like high-end leather jacket. Unfortunately, those are pretty rare and get really, really expensive, even secondhand. So I'm keeping an eye out. It's one of those things that, I always take a quick look when I'm out at a thrift store or when the garage sales open up soon, once the weather gets a little bit nicer out. There's a lot of things that you should be on the lookout for in menswear that are great, pieces to add that are almost always very expensive. And if you just keep an eye out, every once in a while, you might get lucky and find something at a garage sale, at the thrift store. People are human, they miss things. And I've had a few lucky finds myself, especially recently. I'll tell you what, if you haven't recently gone, and especially during the change in seasons, to your local thrift store, Goodwill, Savers, Vets, any of those kind of stores, go and take a look. This is the time of year where they're really pushing out the old inventory, to make way for the new season, short sleeve shirts, things like that. So they're not paying as much attention, and they're trying to get all of those winter jackets and coats and sweaters really just out of their inventory. So they're going to price them a lot cheaper, and they're going to put them out pretty quickly without paying as close attention. I know recently there was even like a pair of Lululemon's pants that I found for like 10 bucks. There are some insane deals that people do miss. So if that's something else you guys would be interested in, let me know. But we're gonna get on to the next piece of menswear. So the next item on our list is actually more of an honorable mention. We'll save number one just for a little bit longer. But it is actually this cologne. It's a Noir by Bath & Body Works. I didn't want to really include it in the official list just because I did not find this at some thrift store or garage sale or something like that. This is something that I did buy new from Bath & Body Works. Cologne and fragrance in general is something that a lot of men overlook. They don't really consider it a part of menswear, even though it is. It's something that you wear on your body, that you choose in the morning what you want to put on, and it can really be that extra step to show that you are conscientious of your appearance, how you are perceived by other people. And fragrance in general is becoming extremely popular, and there are so many different scents out there, and there's even debate on whether or not you should be focusing on one scent or having a whole collection for different events or situations. Personally, I mostly this year have just worn this. I've recently gotten a little bit more into fragrance, so that's something I might be doing some videos on soon. Fragrance, again, gets really, really expensive for some of the more notable brands, the Gucci, the Calvin Klein, some of the Polo, scents. And as far as cologne goes, it's something that most people put off for quite a while. It's not everyone's first thought when they look at menswear. I really encourage everyone, though, try to find a cologne or some sort of fragrance that you enjoy. As long as you enjoy it and people aren't hating on it when you are in the room with them, it really is something that can help boost your confidence. And there's a lot of research that shows if you wear a scent that you like, there's a good chance that other people around you will like it too. So if you haven't, it gets really expensive to get into some of the higher brands, but try looking at some of the more common stores like Bath & Body Works. They do have some really decent scents. They don't have a big selection or anything, but go in, see if you can find a few that you like, or even just one. I challenge you to find one fragrance that you like, that you enjoy, and then just even for a month, just for 1 month, just try wearing it every day and see how you like it. See if people notice it. Do you get compliments on it? Is it something that makes you feel good in the morning putting on? And something like, even this brand new, it's only, I think it was like $40 for the bottle. And that's not nothing, but it's not really crazy expensive, and you get a lot of use out of something like this. I mean, this, like I said, I've worn this quite a bit, and I'm not even maybe like a quarter of the way through it, and that's for like close to a year. So this is just more of an honorable mention. Wanted to throw it in there. Cologne is, like I said, something I'm getting a bit more into, so you'll probably be seeing some extra videos in the future because it is a big, wide world of colognes and men's fragrances, and there's a lot to be said about it. So, no more stalling, let's get on to the number one on our list. So number one on our list is actually a pair of boots, but this is not just any pair of boots. These are bespoke, handmade leather boots. These are English boots, and they're made by a company called Peelen Co. Now, Peelen Co is still a brand that you can buy today. However, they're not actually made by Peelen Co anymore. Peelen Co was one of the greatest English boot makers and shoemakers. They were in business for something like 300 years. They did go out of business in, I think it was the 60s. And that company, the name still exists because Brooke Brothers, which is a clothing manufacturer or more of a distributor here in the States, purchased the name and now uses that name as branding on a lot of the English-made shoes that they sell. But the actual boot makers and shoemakers at Peelen Co are no longer there. What's crazy about these is this is not a Brooks Brothers pair of Peelen Co boots. These are fully man-made, bespoke, custom-tailored Peelen Co boots. These are over 60 years old, and they are in phenomenal condition. They are one of the nicest pair of boots I have ever handled, let alone gotten a chance to own. They are just in insane condition for their age. And that really goes to show when you're buying quality and you know how to take care of it, especially leather garments, they can last decades. Like, these are over 60 years old, and I can still put them on and wear them outside. Now, that being said, I don't, because I'm very new to, this quality of leather shoe, leather boot. I want to make sure that I know and learn first how to properly take care of them, because part of keeping leather in this good of condition for so long is taking care of it, shining the boots, making sure you condition them properly. That whole process is not just, I know when people say to polish your shoes, you think, oh, well, it's to make it look shiny. What polishing shoes and boots really is more of just taking care of them. It's a way of cleaning them, and then conditioning the leather to make it more supple and last longer, and then also to remove scuffs and scratches. It's not necessarily to make them like shiny and mirror-like. There are certain kinds of shoes and boots where that is the result that you want, but for boots like this, it's imperative to keeping them in good condition. And I mean, they speak for themselves. You want a pair of boots that is going to last you, over 50 years. Get a really, really high quality pair of leather boots made, Goodyear welted, so even when you do eventually wear through the sole or the heel, you can go to a professional cobbler who can have them resoled for you. These don't even actually need to be resoled. They have even the metal suicide heels on them, and there's really not that much wear to them, although they clearly have been weared. I even left the price tag on them just so I can show you that these were $16.49. $16.49 for a pair of boots that will probably last me my entire life is a pretty good deal. You can't always expect to find stuff like this, but this is why it's important to take a look at used menswear. Garments that have had other owners but still have plenty of life in them, and for much of your life might even be able to be a part of your collection and part of your style. So this is really kind of the ultimate example of why buying quality, knowing what to look for, can be really useful in your collection and just giving you the best quality menswear to wear for your everyday life. It's usually very expensive, but if you spend the money on stuff like this, clearly it can hold up if you take care of it. And if you're really lucky and are persistent, you can sometimes find deals where you don't even have to pay the insane prices that you would normally have to for bespoke clothing. I wouldn't expect anyone to get this lucky. I don't expect to ever get this lucky again with something like boots, but if you don't look, you've got zero chance of finding anything like this. So it just goes to show, take care with what you wear. It's important, and if you really want to wear the best in quality, but you do not have the money or don't want to spend the money to purchase new garments, look at the pre-owned market, look at your local thrift stores, garage sales. There are ways to build a wardrobe that is worth thousands and thousands of dollars that will give you the most comfort and the most style without spending outrageous prices. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Vintage Reserve. And remember, our clothing is like our skin. It matters, so we should take care of what we wear.